I don't agree with that. Self-care goes so much further. So it's not only beauty products or in that spa area, it's taking care of your holistic health. It's taking care about every aspect of who you are and what entails it to be a human. Hello and welcome back. If you are new to this channel, my name is Shanne and I help women to tap into their rewilded self by following a fulfilling and balanced lifestyle and unlocking their unique and authentic potential. If this is something that you're interested in, you should stick around, subscribe, like this video, and don't miss out the free guide I created for you that helps you meet your holistic needs and therefore create fulfillment in your daily life. In this video today, I'm not gonna give you that much of inspiration, so if you're just looking for some nice idea what you could do, this is not your video. What we're gonna do is like finding clarity in what you need right now and what you want to have as your self-care to do. Well, let's call it wanna do, it's nicer, for the upcoming week. Maybe you are like I am and you like to plan your week a little bit in order to structure it a bit easier and to follow along with lightness in your mind. If this is the case, probably you also want to planify the self-care to-dos that you're doing in your week. If you haven't done that until now, ask yourself why you haven't. Are you treating your self-care as something important, or is it something that takes place when you have space left? We're diving right into it. You know that self-care is important, that self-care is something that you'd like to integrate more, and you clicked on this video because you want to take care of yourself, and cheers to that, that's great. But let's have a look at your actual life. What is really happening in your daily life? How do you prioritize tasks, responsibilities, and also self-care? People know that self-care is important, but are you actually acting that way in your daily life? And this is what I see a lot, is that people know, but they don't act accordingly. This is why we want to prioritize self-care this week. And for that, I want to help you find clarity. Why do I want to help you find clarity? There is so much inspiration out there, but not all the inspiration is right for you. In the world I grew up, there's even a saying that first work, then pleasure. So it says that you have to start with doing your work, and once your work is done, once it's over, then you can enjoy your life. And I do not really agree with that. Let's zoom out of that feeling, that belief that we can only enjoy and we can only relax once we've done what we have to do. When you have your own business, you probably know that you're never finished. There is always more and more and more, and new ideas and new projects and new collaborations and so on. And for that, I would like to share with you a picture that you can imagine what's actually happening there. So let's zoom out on an energetic level, right? We want to manifest, right? We want to work together with the universe. We want to co-create. But the universe does not talk the same language than we do, because universe works in frequencies. What the universe does is like actually looking at your frequency and amplifying your frequency. So universe is not coming to you and saying, oh my god, I see you're stressed, I see you're overwhelmed, I see that you need a pause, that you're frustrated or exhausted. Come, I will change your frequency and then you can have that great flowy and light joyful life. This is not what's gonna happen. What universe does, or call it God, or call it the source, or call it however you want, is that it comes to you, it looks at you and it says, you're a free woman. You can decide whatever you want, and I'm gonna amplify what you give me as an information. So if you're going there stressed, overwhelmed, exhausted, frustrated, universe will amplify that. Because for universe or God or whatever, there is no good or bad. It's just, it is, right? So if you decide to feel bad, this is your choice. And universe is gonna amplify it. So it means that when you are concentrated on work, universe will give you more work. And now you can start playing around with it because you realize that this is your decision, that you can choose what you want. Either you say, okay, I'm gonna stay concentrated on work and I get more and more and more and more work, or you can prioritize your holistic well-being. What do I mean by holistic health? It is not only your physical health, but also mental health, emotional health, and energetical health. This is important to know because we're going to talk about that later. So let's come back to how universe works, right? So what you're doing, what you're prioritizing is what's gonna be amplified by the universe. And I'm not so much talking like in task, but much more the frequency behind. As I said, universe, the source, God is speaking in frequency. And here it also totally makes sense suddenly why a lot of coaches or self-help books or whatever are talking about how important the morning is. How do you start your day? What is the first frequency that you invite into your day? Because with that you're actually showing the universe, you're communicating with the universe what is the most important for you, what you prioritize in your life. So if you wake up, you take your phone, you go to Instagram, you're probably a person that's easily into judgment, self-judgment or comparison, and you go through the stories of your favorite influencers or role models and you see, oh my god, they're living their best life and I have to go to work, and oh my god, I have no clients and they have so many clients, and whatever. So what you're gonna send to the universe in that moment, you can feel it. I know you can. I don't want you to create a life and follow an image that does not fit your actual needs. We want to go to the source and we want to really give you, your whole being, your holistic health, what is needed, that you can feel fulfilled and that you can really feel that you're taking care of yourself and not only just following an image. I know that self-care in this social media world is often understood as relaxation and laying in bed, making your nails or giving yourself a face mask. So it's all about that spa feeling. I often perceive it as that. But I don't agree with that. Self-care goes so much further. It's taking care about every aspect of who you are and what entails it to be a human. So we have that energetical, physical, emotional, and mental part. I do believe that unfulfillment and the feeling of not feeling whole is just coming from the fact that we are not living our uniqueness, that we're not living what we are here for, we're not following our purpose in life. And the other thing is that we're not taking care of our needs and wants holistically, so that we are just focused on one thing. In the spiritual scene, as an example, you see that often the physical aspect of holistic health is like set aside and not fulfilled. Whereas in a more business-related setting, there is more the emotional or energetical part that is set aside and ignored. But what we want is to create holistic fulfillment. That means that we gonna integrate all of these four. Enough talking theoretically. I'm gonna show you now a method how you can check in and feel where in your holistic health is kind of a lack, and how to create self-care wanna-dos in order to fulfill that whole. You need a journal, a book, a paper, your agenda and a pen, and we're gonna find clarity in what you can do this week in order to take care of yourself holistically and authentically. And for that, I created for you a graphic that introduces you in the 4 directions. Probably you already heard about that, probably not. So, what does each direction entails? We're gonna talk about the first one, the physical. The physical dimension concerns everything that goes like in direct relation to your physical body. So it's preventive health practice, it's doing sports, it's nutrition, it's like physical activity, but also relaxation techniques in order to really well balance your body's needs. Then we have the next dimension, the next direction, which is emotional. And in the emotional direction, there's all about regulating yourself, working with your emotions, working with your impulses, but also processing repressed emotion and working on trauma tasks. The next dimension is mental, and here it's all about our mindset, our beliefs, how we perceive life, how we look on life, our perspective, but also mental activity and mental relaxations. So a little hint for all the overthinkers, this direction can be very interesting for you to have a look at. And then we have the last direction, which is the energetical direction, and here we consider everything that is in our frequency, that's about manifestation, law of attraction, but also consciousness and spiritual awareness. So what we're gonna do now is to check in all of these directions and eventually find one task that you're gonna planify into your agenda. I'm gonna ask you some questions and I want you to answer to them. Either you can stop the video if you want to write it down or just thinking about it. However, I recommend you to stick to that the whole video long, right? It's just 4 directions, it's just 4 questions, it's not big, but I know that sometimes our mind or our ego want us to quit and to say, oh, it's not so important, too much work. Don't do it, please. So first direction, physical. If you want, feel free to close your eyes and really check into, okay, what does it mean to me, physical self-care? What can you do? And even more important, what do you need right now, this week? Is it more active or is it more passive? So whatever comes to your mind, what is important for that week, what do you like to do, I want to just write it down. And I want you to get very specific here. Sleeping more or eating healthier is not tangible. It's not measurable. Because what is healthier or more? Is it 1 hour? Is it 2 hours? Is it like adding 1 spoon of spirulina into your smoothie? Or is it like not eating that burger? So get really specific. What does that mean? How many times a week? Is it just 1 time? Is it like every morning? Is whatever. So just get very specific with your goal or with your self-care wanna do. Once you've done that, we're gonna go into emotional. So here I want you to ask basically the same thing. Ask yourself, how do you feel on an emotional level? Do you feel a lot of emotions right now? Don't you feel any emotions? What do you need? Do you need to like regulate yourself and work with your emotions in order to calm them down? Or is it more like, do you need to get in touch with your emotions? Don't you feel that connection to your emotion and kind of like you shut them down? This can probably be trying out EFT, emotional freedom technique. In case you'd like to do so, I have a video on my channel. I'm gonna link it here so you can enjoy it. But it can also be other things like working on childhood trauma tasks, making an inner child meditation. It's everything that gets you in contact with your emotions. I know that for many people, working with our emotions isn't something that seems okay or natural, but it definitely is. And I can make a whole video talking about the bad influences that it has when we suppress emotions, when we don't live impulses and we try to control everything and shut them down. This is actually affecting your health like tremendously. So we're not gonna do that. We don't want to do that. This is negative for our life. Coming back to that step, write down one tangible thing, what do you want to do this week in order to fulfill this need of yours. Now we jump into the mental part. So think about, how do you feel on a mental level? Do you feel very active, or do you feel foggy, or do you feel clear or unclear? And upon that, then decide, what do you need this week? Do you need relaxation techniques? Do you need a shift in mindset? Do you need somebody that is talking about something inspiring that gives you other opportunities to look on life or on a certain situation that you're in? And also here, the same play, gonna keep it the most specific possible and write it down. And the fourth direction, energetically, how do you feel? Do you feel connected? Do you trust in life? Do you feel that spiritual awareness and that consciousness into your daily life? There are a bunch of practices what you can do in order to strengthen your spiritual connection, to live more intentionally, or to create greater consciousness in your daily life. So this can be like doing chakra opening meditations. It can be getting a Reiki session, or just simple things like raising our frequency by doing what we love doing and just enjoy pleasure. And also here, let's write down one specific thing that you want to do this week for your self-care on an energetic level. So now you have 4 things that you'd like to do for this week. Now we're coming to the most important part, and it's planify to actually doing them. And here I want to give you some tips. First of all, don't give you too much work. You're gonna feel much more fulfilled by doing this than to try to, from 0 to 100, adapt that life that you're probably looking forward to, right? To have that meditation routine every morning, and this will be your life. This is actually possible, but let's start small to keep it sustainable. The second recommendation I want to give to you is, do actually take your agenda and planify that task in your calendar. And if you don't know yet if you can do it like on Monday or on Thursday because you're waiting for an answer for a friend if you're going to eat together, yes or no, then planify both days. If you then know and have the answer of your friend, you can take away one of these 2 events, but let's do them right now. Schedule them. Bring them into your agenda. And if you really want to get the benefit out of it, I recommend to do this like every week. You can do it on Sunday evening. You can make you a little ritual, make you a nice cacao next to it or a nice tea, and to really check into your directions, into your holistic health in order to planify that for next week. So save this video that you can do it next Sunday as well. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Feel free to share in the comment what are your 4 things that you're gonna do this week in order to commit even more and also exchange with the community. I'm looking forward to read your comments, and I'm gonna cheer on you for everything that you're gonna write down there. I wish you a lovely day. Have a wonderful, wonderful week by fulfilling your holistic self-care what it is, and I send you much love. Let's rewild, honey.